Let's jump right in. If you drive a car, you already know that insurance premiums have been quietly creeping up on us. But what if I told you there was a simple weekend project that could permanently drive those costs down and put real, hard-earned money back in your pocket? Well, that is exactly what this explainer is all about today.
Okay, let's dive into this right away, because this number right here is absolutely staggering. Did you know that certain insurance providers offer massive discounts just for proving you're a safe driver? Seriously. For example, Progressive offers defensive driving discounts that when you pair them with their telematics or usage-based program called Snapshot, can reach up to a jaw-dropping 31% off your total premium. Imagine slicing almost a third off your car insurance bill.
So that naturally brings us to the most important question. How can you unlock these savings for yourself? You might assume you need a flawless driving record for decades, or that you have to spend hours on hold with an insurance agent listening to terrible elevator music, but the reality is actually much more straightforward, and it's built entirely around something called a defensive driving course. Here is our quick roadmap for this explainer. First, the car insurance cost problem. Then, what defensive driving actually is, followed by choosing an accredited course. Next, calculating your real savings, more ways to save, and finally, a summary and an important disclaimer.
Section 1. The car insurance cost problem. The rising price of commuting.
If you feel like your commute is just getting more and more expensive, you are absolutely right. Drivers of all ages are feeling the financial pinch of rising premiums right now. According to data from the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, the national average car insurance expenditure hit $1,127 per year back in 2022. And to put that into perspective, that represents a 39% spike over the decade from 2012 to 2022. With costs literally only trending upward, actively hunting for proven discounts is no longer just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely crucial for your personal budget.
Section 2. What is defensive driving? More than just a ticket dismissal.
So the crucial point here is debunking a pretty common myth. A lot of people think these courses are exclusively for folks who just got a speeding ticket and are desperately trying to keep it off their record. And sure, while these certainly work for ticket dismissal in many states, defensive driving is actually a proactive approach. You're learning to anticipate and avoid potential hazards before an accident even happens. And insurance companies? They love this. Why? Because safe drivers have fewer accidents, which dramatically lowers the insurer's risk of having to pay out expensive claims. So they are more than happy to reward this proactive behavior with a discount. It's a win for everybody.
Plus, you're actually learning incredibly valuable skills. These courses, which typically take, about 4 to 8 hours to complete, cover highly practical topics. You master hazard anticipation and space management, literally learning how a proper following distance can save your life and your wallet. You learn how to use safety equipment to minimize injuries in a crash. You get much-needed updates to state traffic laws. And maybe most importantly in today's world, you learn strategies for managing road rage and avoiding distracted driving. You are actively becoming a fundamentally better driver.
Section 3. Choosing an accredited course. Making sure it counts.
Now we're getting into the action phase, because actually, scratch that. Taking just any random class you find on the internet will not magically lower your rates. Here is the chronological, step-by-step process you need to follow. Step 1. Verify state or DMV approval. This is absolutely mandatory. Your course must be accredited by your state-specific governing body. For instance, in Texas, it has to be approved by the TDLR. In New York, you're looking for the PIRP program, and in Florida, the BDI course. Step 2. Complete the 4 to 8 hour course. That usually involves a final test where you just need a 70 to 80% to pass. Step 3. Submit that certificate to your provider. The discount is rarely automatic, guys. You usually need to explicitly ask them to apply it, often right before your policy renews.
And this brilliantly illustrates how accessible these courses actually are. Looking at reputable providers, there's really something for everyone. AAA and AARP are fantastic, especially because many states legally mandate discounts for mature drivers, usually folks over 50 or 55. But providers like DriveSafe Online and Improv offer incredible options for the general public too. And the best part? Most states now accept cheap, highly flexible online options. You can literally knock this out from your couch in your pajamas on a Saturday afternoon.
Section 4. Calculating your real savings. The return on investment.
Let's look at the actual math to prove exactly how much money is sitting on the table waiting for you. Take a look at this case study of a Geico driver in South Carolina. This driver was paying an annual premium of $1,142. They took a state-approved course that cost them $43.95 up front. By securing a 10% premium discount, they saved over $114 a year. That means that tiny upfront cost paid for itself in less than 5 months.
And because these discounts typically last for 3 years, this driver walked away with almost $300 in pure net savings.
Now let's see how this compounds for someone paying even higher premiums. Consider a young, high-risk driver, say a 20-year-old male paying over $5,400 annually. For them, a 10% discount saves a massive $544 every single year. If they take a $50 course, that fee is entirely recovered in just 34 days. That's barely over a month. Over the standard 3-year discount cycle, they are netting over $1,584 in savings. I mean, the math here is incredibly compelling.
Section 5. More ways to save. Maximizing your discounts.
Taking a defensive driving course is amazing, but a defensive driving discount means absolutely nothing if you don't maintain a clean record. This highlights exactly why. A single speeding ticket can spike your premium by 27%. An at-fault accident? You're looking at a 50% increase. And a DUI will literally more than double your rates, hitting you with a 107% premium increase. Protecting your driving record is the absolute foundation of affordable insurance, because if you do get a ticket, it takes about 3 to 5 years to clear that off your insurance history.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how your financial habits off the road impact your costs on the road. In states where it's legally permitted, insurers look heavily at your credit history. Drivers with bad credit pay an average of $1,633 a year. That is a staggering 71% more than the $671 average paid by drivers with good credit. Insurance companies heavily correlate credit history with the likelihood of filing a claim, so keeping your credit score healthy is a massive money saver in its own right.
So, to summarize these bonus strategies, you absolutely must shop around. Every company uses a completely different algorithm to calculate your risk, so comparing quotes from at least 3 different insurers is essential. Loyalty doesn't always pay off. Combine that with maintaining a clean driving record for 3 to 5 years and keeping a close eye on your credit report, and you essentially have a master plan for keeping your car insurance as cheap as humanly possible.
Section 6. Summary and important disclaimer. The final steps.
To wrap up this explainer, dedicating just a few hours on a weekend to an accredited online defensive driving course is genuinely one of the highest return on investment activities you can do for your personal finances. It makes you a safer driver, protects your passengers, and yields hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars in savings over time. But before you go sign up, I need to read this mandatory professional disclaimer. Insurance discounts may vary by provider and region. Consult your insurance company for specific details relative to your policy. This is absolutely crucial because state laws dictate final pricing. For example, states like Massachusetts, Michigan, and Hawaii actually do not mandate or offer these defensive driving discounts by law, regardless of the carrier. So always call your agent to verify exactly what's available to you in your specific zip code before paying for a class.
And that leaves us with one final thought. The knowledge is right here in your hands, the process is incredibly simple, and the math unequivocally checks out. So my question to you is, are you ready to stop overpaying for your commute and finally take control of your car insurance? Check with your insurance today and get that money back where it belongs, in your wallet. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and drive safe.